You wake up already carrying weight that doesn't belong to you, not because your life is falling apart, but because the world has trained you to start every day irritated, alert, braced for impact. That tension you feel before anything happens, that's not life being hard. That's a mind that's been left unguarded. And if there's one skill that separates people who break from people who bend and keep moving, it's this: the ability to stay in a good mood even when everything is trying to rip you out of it. So, the greatest skill you can build is learning how to stay in a good mood when you have thousands of reasons not to be. Not a fake smile, not denial, not pretending things don't hurt. I'm talking about control. The kind of control that lets you experience frustration without becoming it. The kind that keeps your inner state from being hijacked by every inconvenience, every comment, every delay. Most people live in reaction mode. They don't choose their mood. Life chooses it for them, and that's why they feel powerless. I've said before that the hardest task in the world is to think deeply. Most people never slow down long enough to do it. But thinking deeply is a task, something you sit down and attempt. This is different. This is a skill, something you acquire through repetition, failure, and self-awareness. And it may be the hardest skill in the world because it forces you to take responsibility for something people would rather blame on circumstances, your internal state. There are endless reasons to be upset now. Endless. We live in a world that profits from your agitation. News cycles engineered to spike fear. Platforms designed to keep comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. Opinions flying at you faster than your nervous system can process. A long time ago, a good day meant you ate, your people were safe, and you lived to see the sunset. That was it. That was the standard. Maybe that simplicity wasn't primitive. Maybe it was sane. Maybe the issue isn't that life has become unbearable. Maybe it's that our lens has become too wide. We're trying to emotionally process the entire planet while standing in our own kitchens. We take so much into consideration that we miss what's right in front of us. A warm meal, a bed, breath in your lungs, the ability to sit here, thinking, learning, choosing. Those aren't small things. They're foundational. When you lose sight of the foundation, everything above it feels unstable. Staying in a good mood doesn't mean you don't see what's wrong. It means you refuse to let what's wrong dominate you. You don't need to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't need to react to every inconvenience like it's a threat. You don't need to carry outrage as proof that you are informed. Awareness without control isn't intelligence. It's self-inflicted suffering. Here's what most people don't want to hear. The reason life feels so heavy isn't always because it is. It's because your emotional boundaries are weak. Any delay can ruin your day. Any comment can stick for hours. Any setback can knock you off course. That's not sensitivity. That's a lack of regulation. And the person who learns how to regulate their internal state gains an advantage that doesn't show up on resumes or social media, but it changes everything. When your mood is steady, your thinking sharpens. You make better decisions. You conserve energy. You become harder to manipulate, harder to shake, harder to derail. You stop bleeding attention on things that don't move your life forward. Calm isn't passive. Calm is efficient. In a world addicted to reaction, the person who can remain centered starts to look almost untouchable. This skill isn't built in comfort. It's built in traffic, in waiting rooms, in conversations that don't go your way, in days where nothing clicks and no one notices. It's built the moment you catch the spiral starting and choose not to follow it. The moment you pause before complaining. The moment you ask yourself, is this worth my energy? And have the discipline to mean it. At first, it feels unnatural, like you're letting things slide, like you're losing your edge. But you're not. You're sharpening it. You're learning the difference between what deserves your attention and what just wants it. People who've been through real hardship understand this. They don't waste emotion on nonsense. They've seen what actually matters, and they move accordingly. This isn't about being calm all the time. It's about being intentional, about understanding that your mood is one of the few things in life you truly own. And once you learn how to protect it, Everything else becomes easier to carry. Problems shrink. Setbacks become data, not drama. You stop asking why everything is happening to you and start asking what you're going to do next. The greatest skill isn't working harder, talking louder, or trying to dominate the room. It's inner stability. It's being the person who doesn't collapse when things go sideways. The person who can move through chaos without becoming chaotic. In a world constantly trying to provoke you, staying in a good mood isn't weakness. It's resistance. It's discipline. It's power. And the moment you master it, you don't just survive this world, you start moving through it on your terms. Thank you for watching.